Hello, and welcome to 3 a.m. at the Crossroads with me, Oli Andre Olar, a practicing occultist from Transylvania. And more than likely, you are here because, if at all, if anybody is ever here in this moment right now, is because I posted this on Threads, and I'm thankful for your participation in it. I just wanted to share that you more than likely know of my brand like OA Occult on Threads. And I want to start to capture conversations here, make something more interactive, video-wise, longer form content to share ideas of the liminal. And what better way to do that than have Crossroads there in the name, especially at 3 a.m. because I want a level. I have been born on the witching hour. It is my favorite hour. And also, I have had many personal, deep, mystical experiences of initiation into the unknown at 3 a.m. in forests at night throughout my life. So, welcome. Here, this is a vlog slash podcast slash live stream slash whatever the hell I want it to be, without a set form in mind, set schedule, or anything of that nature, hence the liminality of the name, to start a conversation, put myself out there. Let's see how it grows into whatever it needs to be. So this is the crossroads between the seen and the unseen, light and dark, life and death, left-hand path, right-hand path, self and other, this world, the other world, light, day and night, etc., etc. That's where the profound symbolism of magic is to be found in these liminal spaces of initiation. Threshold places, right? Let's have this like a chill, cool threshold place to enjoy and banter a little bit. And this is, I'm not going to even put episodes or whatever, hashtag, this number, etc. But the title of this would be around the Summer Solstice, because this is a very sacred moment this week. This is recorded on June 15th, Monday, in the year of our Lord 2026. And at the end of this week, on Sunday, is the Summer Solstice in the Northern Hemisphere and the Winter Solstice in the Southern Hemisphere, which is a pivotal moment of our experience of the Wheel of the Year. And I want to just highlight some things that are talked about not as often, and highlight these more hidden aspects of the solstice. And I'm going to mainly focus on the summer solstice being in the Northern Hemisphere. But again, I want to introduce myself a little bit. I'm Oli Andre Olar. I am an practicing occultist from Transylvania, a region in Romania, the European Union, Central/Eastern Europe. I'm still based here at the moment, and I do a variety of spiritual practices, especially with my clients. It's about doing work with integrating astrology, tarot, numerology, I Ching, other divinatory practices, but mainly the core practice for me is Kabbalah. With a Q, the Hermetic Tree of Life. I add some Neoplatonism, some Gnosticism, as well as my experiences growing up as a practicing pagan, animist, the natural world, as well as a lot of experiences with the paranormal. So it's a wide pastry dish of interesting topics. And let's get started, shall we? Solstice. What does it mean? The word. We have to look as practicing occultists and people who are interested in spiritual practice at the root of a word. And the word solstice is derived from sol in Latin, which means sun, and sistere, which is to stop, to hold station. This is a culminating point in the Wheel of the Year. If we look at the Wheel of the Year, the solstice points are new moon and full moon. This is the equivalent of a full moon in a lunar cycle, with this being the absolute culmination of day's length, the triumph of day. This is, in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The days following this moment will have light steadily decreasing. And the moments leading up to this solstice point, the days are increasing longer and longer and longer. It feels like right now the sun is so super high up on the sky. I swear to God, it's never ending. These days are never ending. And I do like night more than day. That's how I am, man. But I do like the paradox of the light's triumph, because this is the most interesting pivotal thing you need to understand about summer, the season of summer. Spring is that culmination of the sun on the sky. Gemini is that ultimate triumph of day's length, of the amount of light the earth receives. But in pure Gemini paradox, that also means that the baton is given to night immediately after. The mortal twin offers itself to the immortal twin. Paradox. Increase, decrease happen at the same time. On a summer solstice, this is the most apt moment of right when the day wins, the light wins, quote unquote. What does it do next? Immediately, it offers itself to night. It becomes night. It starts decreasing, willfully so, because increase and decrease, this contrast is the life force of creation. It is how creation creates itself through, just like lungs. Breathe in air, air goes out. Heartbeat, it's contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion. Summer solstice is that moment of culmination that immediately leads to a decrease, because summer is the season where, yes, there's most warmth that's happening. The warmth of the sun is very present in our life, but at the same time, if you are a conscious occult practitioner, you practice contemplation, you observe the natural world, you work with the natural order, you work with change willingly, you see that each date on the calendar during summer, night increases, night increases, night increases. This is the moment where night wins in a moment. In a way, night starts its ascent that will culminate in the winter solstice. So summer is about willingly going into the unknown. It's not, light doesn't want to keep going on forever exponentially into more growth for the sake of more growth. It is unlike some of the aspects of our dying global culture in the sense that it willingly lets off that. It willingly gives itself to its mirror self, knowing that it is itself that's happening. It's day and night. We have to merge as occultists day and night together and understand they're the same, different sides of the same coin, instead of then, as our culture enabled this pathological fear of the unknown, we must willingly go towards it and not fear change, but work with it. Something I always return to is ancient Egyptian mysticism, because that's the root of the Western branch of esotericism. Everything has its roots in ancient Egypt. And especially the things I want to talk about with the summer solstice, because the ancient Egyptians saw things way more differently than we did. There's more room for nuance, especially when it comes to summer light, dark. The ancient Egyptian deity associated with summer is Ra, the creation god, the god of the sun. And the Egyptians would see each and every day the sun as a symbol for Ra's boat slash chariot, going through the sky to get ready to hunt Apep or Apophis, the serpent of the dark, a representation of primordial chaos, uncreation, creation and uncreation. There's a dynamic between them. There's a synastry. There's a syzygy between them. They cannot be separated. They would see the sun. The ancient Egyptians would see the sun and solar embodiment, the height of solar embodiment, not this like constant desire for ascension, more and more light, more and more warmth, but a willing, authentic desire to hunt and go into the unknown, to cross the threshold of the unknown, have that courage and that authenticity to go into the unseen, into the underworld of the Duat, where the sun eventually descends into, just like Ra descends into the underworld of the Duat to hunt Apep, hunt Apophis, slay it, and find vitality in that strife, and then get reborn again the next day. That's the thing. Like Apep, the serpent of darkness, will never be defeated. It will never be. Night will never be defeated. Night is essential. Darkness, absence, the distance between the stars is what makes spirit known to us as humans and a lot of other things. More than the beyond. These are the primordial waters of uncreation, from where creation has birthed itself. So it's returning into that womb to renew itself. And then the hunt continues again the next day, and again and again and again and again. This is how reality is created, by this tension of opposites, contrast, contradictions. But again, see uncreation and creation as parts of the same whole. That's the purpose of magic. That is the purpose of occultism. That is the purpose of summer, to teach us that day does not put itself on the throne forever like a dictator, like a tyrant, but willingly goes into the unknown to find itself and confront uncreation itself, which is essential for us to live a good life connected with our solar self. This image right here is another representation of Ra. I think it's kind of like a little bit of Leo. Sometimes it's Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess, but as well represented Ra, this like desert feline cutting the head off of Apophis, killing it under the tree there. Kind of early representation of the Kabbalistic tree of life, where the serpentine tree and the pole star, and I'm getting ahead of myself. The thing is, again, each and every day we can initiate ourselves into the unknown, just like Ra does, just like summer is showing us. So in this solstice moment, like, how are we initiating ourselves into the unknown more and more? Like, we can microdose this each and every day, so we learn and actually confront our hidden uncreation in the nature, our hidden self, to then revitalize ourselves and hunt anew. The hunt will never end, just as darkness will never die, just as light will never truly triumph. And one last contemplation for this on the eve of the summer solstice, as we go towards it, is the Neoplatonic concept of return, in the sense that this is a return of the night in our realm of consciousness, After the summer solstice, day is starting to wane. Night is starting to increase. Meaning this is a culmination point, like a full moon. What has reached a culmination in our life and is ready now to find more depth in that return to the unknown, in our inner world. It's no wonder this season starts with the cardinal waters of Cancer. There is that inner self-reflection of our emotional sense of self. What needs to be addressed, what culmination point of our a journey of whatever we initiated has reached that moment since winter solstice or other point you feel in your life. But there's something that has climbed to the highest. And the point of life is not to constantly grow more and more and more, but to willingly give of itself. That interplay with it emanating and pulsating is to see it, then unsee it, see it and unsee it, so that you can walk the middle path. It's becoming knowledge, becoming wisdom, the way light returns to itself and allows night to give that contrast so we can understand who we are through the interplay of opposites in the mundane world. So as we go closer and closer towards that Sunday moment of the solstice, it's good to make that space for understanding that contrast and working with it willingly. Prepare your consciousness to, at those moments of the summer solstice, to willingly go into the unknown and not shy away from it, but actually celebrate it. Just as in this week, as the sun goes through Gemini and light keeps increasing, just celebrate the triumph of light, knowing that it gives selflessly of itself into uncreation and the underworld to renew itself through that ebb and flow of known, unknown, known, unknown. So I wish you well on meeting that crossroads and growing with the ebbs and tides of change. So yeah, I'll see you around. I don't know how to end this. I'm just rambling here, but it will improve in time, and I appreciate the time anyone has put into seeing this. Cheers. See you around.